All right, we're going to import some assets. We're going to get our FBX files that we pushed out of Blender, and we're also going to migrate an Opal shader from the content examples that Epic released, and we'll be able to dissect that asset and see how it works. And that's a good, just general practice. Epic releases a lot of assets that you can dive into to see best practices. There's a lot of self-learning that can happen from that, so I'll show you how to do that. And yeah, let's get started importing these assets. So inside of your project directory for your Unreal Engine project, wherever you put it, I like to add manually a folder called external. You can do this however you want. I just like having my project all in the same folder so I can easily zip it up when I am not using it. You can see the Premiere project that I'm using to make this tutorial is in here. All the tutorial assets like slides and stuff is in there. And then for the actual Unreal Engine, these are the assets we're going to be importing. All right, so I've got my Unreal project on the right, and the assets that I'm going to import here on the left. I'm going to go to Content Drawer, open that up, drag these in. It's going to bring this up, and there's a setting here that always causes me trouble. I'm going to do Build Nanite. Uncheck that, because if you don't, it's going to bring in your geometry weird. It's going to import those all. All right, now that those are all imported, minimize this, make that bigger, and these should be named better. So there's a standard naming convention inside Unreal Engine. Anything that's a mesh should have this SM at the beginning of it. So we're going to do S underscore, and since we don't want to do that each time, select all the objects you want to rename, go to batch rename, and add prefix SM underscore, and it will do it. Apply. Okay, now all of those are SM underscore. We've got some stragglers here, so we're going to batch rename. We're going to remove tool and S underscore. Apply. Gonna get rid of these materials that came in because we don't need them. So now all of our static meshes should all be the same thing. And because I'm a really big stickler about naming conventions, all of these that look different, I'm gonna bring those right in. Some of these came from the same file. That's why there's more than 12, the original 12 that we imported. So I'm just gonna take each and every one of them and make sure that it says SM underscore Mandala underscore file and then a number. All right, there. Got 1 through, looks like there's about 15 of them. Okay, we're gonna delete this, parse delete, save, and we're gonna just, while we're doing this, while we're in this mode, we're just gonna give all of these their appropriate. So we got material, material instance, sequence, static mesh, all the way to static mesh. So now you can just see it just looks cleaner. And another thing this allows you to do is it allows you to type in M underscore and all of your materials. Okay. Yeah, all of your materials pop up first. Then you can do material instance and you get all your material instances. You can do your static mesh. It'll get all your static meshes. And you can do that here, but it's kind of just easier to just type it and just get your stuff. But yeah, that's when things are appropriately named, you can find your stuff a lot faster. And the faster you can do things and the less you have to wrestle with your interface, the more you can actually wrestle with the creative problem that you're facing at any given time. All right, so back in our Epic launcher, if you haven't already, create the content examples project. You want to create it in 5.6. Since I've already created it, I'm not going to create it again. Once it's created, it'll be right here. Open that up by double clicking and it'll open up that project. All right, now that the content examples is open, let's go to edit, project settings. I'm gonna type in substrate. These might not be checked. If they are not checked, check them and then it will prompt you to restart. All right, let's go to the content drawer, open that up, come down here to maps, and material, come over here to material substrate and open that level. We'll just wait for these to load. You'll notice that there's this shader thing down here at the bottom that's loading the shaders. Yeah, so it might take a bit. Right, these are all loaded. Let's find our Opal shader. There it is. I'm gonna grab that and notice that we can click on it. We can navigate to the actual shader there, and we're gonna right click, asset actions, and migrate. It's going to select all of the dependencies, so all of the textures and all of the material functions, all of that stuff that this shader is using. It's going to grab it so that it will work wherever we put it. So click OK, and then we go to the project that you set. You're going to have to put it in the content folder. Don't try and organize anything else. It needs to go into a content folder or it won't work properly. It's going to migrate those. And now, if we go to our emergent project, we can go to example content, substrate, materials, and there it is. We're going to take this and we're going to move it to our emergent folder. There it is. All right, last step for this section before we get into materials a little bit deeper. We are going to take all of these, make sure that they are 0, 0, 0, because I like stuff to just be right where I want it to be. And then we're going to go to our content drawer. We're going to grab all of these and we are going to slap them in our level. Bam. We're going to put them in one folder. 16. Perfect. And we're just going to zoom out there. Right. And just going to enter 0. Really just make sure that those are things they're supposed to be. Okay. We are now ready to apply materials and start getting this party going.